We live in a world where expensive and luxurious items are considered top-notch over basic and bland items. Oftentimes, we fall into financial traps by investing in things that will not prosper in the near future, all because we want to please the people around us. We do this to satisfy our egos and to cover up our insecurities because it hurts when we get made fun of based on the things we wear, drive, or eat. So in this video, we will be providing you guys with 5 ways poor people try to look rich. And yes, ultimately, your financial decisions are your choice, but I'm just here to give you some advice on what poor people tend to do and what you could do instead to level up in terms of your wealth and well-being. But before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button if you do enjoy this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. With all that out of the way, here are 5 ways poor people try to look rich. Number 1. Overdressing. Poor people typically have the tendency to overdress during casual events. For example, grocery shopping, taking a walk at the park, or even as simple as going to the bank. Oftentimes, we see people borrowing certain clothes from their friends, either because it's a designer piece of clothing or just for the simple fact that we want to look rich or fancy in front of others. This in fact can be a very bad habit to develop because you will never understand the real value of luxury and that attaining these types of brands requires you to work hard. You might think to yourself that wearing these Saint Laurent high heels to a party might make yourself look attractive or expensive, but in reality, it's more frowned upon if it's noted that you in fact borrowed the pair from someone else. The more you try to impress others, the more you will be frowned upon because showing off other people's items makes you look poor. Yes, you may feel a little insecure for wearing non-designer brands, but believe me, it's much more respected if you wear your own stuff than borrowing others. If you have a strong desire for luxury brands and items, then it's best for you to make your own money and spend it on these things because then you will realize the true value and meaning of wealth and how it requires you to work in order to obtain the lifestyle you wish. Because trust me, borrowing items from others will not last you long, which brings me to my next topic. Number 2. Borrowing. Borrowing items from people just to make yourself look like you have a higher status over others can be one of the most frowned upon actions you could ever do. And no, I'm not talking about yourself when you were in 5th grade asking to borrow an eraser from one of your classmates. I'm talking about the times when you asked to borrow a pair of Jordans to wear at this party or to borrow a luxury car to go on a date with some girl or boy. The reason people do this is because they want to seem rich in order to impress the people around them. This gives them the satisfaction of being respected by others and how other people might want to be with them. But chances are, it's only temporary because believe me, they will lose a massive amount of respect for you once they realize that in fact, those pair of sneakers or that car doesn't belong to you. Also, they might borrow these luxury items and then go on Instagram or Snapchat to flex it as if they own the stuff they are posting. So honestly, I advise you to wear your own clothes or drive your own car to places because it will not only prove that you don't tend to show off to anyone, but it will show the humble and down-to-earth persona in you. If people still tend to make fun of the clothes you wear or the car you drive, they shouldn't be the people you surround yourself with. But don't get me wrong, borrowing items from your friends every once in a while isn't too bad. As long as you don't try your hardest to flaunt these items or you don't make it a constant habit, it should be more or less acceptable to do. Number 3. Bragging about your money. Have you noticed that the rich don't tend to speak on their income as much as poor people do? This is because the wealthy only mention money when they are offered a business deal. Other than that, everything financially related is discreet. Poor people, on the other hand, love to talk about their massive purchases, or in some cases, how much money they have in their pockets. This is due to the fact that they want everyone to perceive them as rich, but think about it this way. Have you ever seen a rich person mention about the price they paid for a new luxurious car? Not often, right? They only mention prices if asked, but other than that, anything they purchase would usually be kept a secret. Rich people develop a habit of not mentioning anything they purchase or how much money they make. This is because they are usually surrounded by people who are also rich, and because the things you spend your money on is irrelevant to other rich people. Bragging about your money can have negative effects on it as well. For example, people might start using you for your wealth, they might start comparing you to others, or they might envy you and start to see you as their competition. But for whatever reason, your income shouldn't be spoken out regardless. It should be kept private at all costs. Number 4. Owning expensive assets. Poor people have this one mistake that causes them to be poor for the rest of their lives. And this mistake is purchasing assets that lose value over time. For example, luxury cars. These things are notorious for poor people to show off because in this day and age, one of the things people tend to judge someone's financial status is their car. And once they see you in an expensive, luxurious car, they'll automatically assume you are high of class. Rich people, on the other hand, do also invest in luxurious cars for their personal satisfaction, but they do this knowing that they could afford it. Rich people also have this tendency to not show off their luxuries due to the fact that they care more about their security than attention from others. They think long term and that showing off or purchasing high-end things will most likely not last long for them. Also, cars are one of the worst investments you can make, especially when your finances are not looking straight. Unlike real estate, the value of cars decreases roughly about 20 to 30% at the end of each year. That's why you mostly see early millionaires investing in places that will bring passive income in the coming years and investing in luxuries later on. So just a friendly reminder that if you pay rent on your house every month, you shouldn't be investing in expensive cars, jewelry, or any other luxurious items that depreciate in value every year. But instead, invest in things that appreciate over the years, as that is what will bring wealth to your life. Number 5. They prioritize luxury over necessity. It's very common to see poor people invest in things that will not do you any good in the near future. They tend to prioritize luxury assets over things that they should be investing in instead. But if you think about it long term, you will lose so much money in luxury investments, and sooner or later, all the times that you showed off your expensive assets will come to an end. I can name a handful of rich people who wear bland and no-name brand clothes due to the fact that materialistic items don't fascinate them. What fascinates rich people are the assets that appreciate over time, or the ones that produce constant cash flow every year, because obviously saving money doesn't get you rich. Poor people don't understand the value of certain assets and only invest in things that make them look flashy. It says a lot about someone's insecurities and ego because they want to be respected by the people around them. But trust me, the richer you become, the more you realize that impressing others by investing in luxury will not play a positive role, but instead it will more or less hurt your pockets in the near future. So the bottom line is, if you want to get rich in the near future, this will not be attainable if you prioritize trying to look good in front of others and trying to do what's best for your financial security. Well, that about wraps up the video for you guys today. I really hoped you learned a thing or two in this video, and hopefully you can apply some of these tips to your everyday lives. Like I said before, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button if you did enjoy, and comment down below some videos on topics you may want to see, as this channel is all about helping and growing you as a person. And last thing, subscribe if you are new around here, and turn on post notifications for an instant notification for every time I upload. With that being said, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.